In 1939, the Rockefeller Foundation was instrumental in modifying the tonal structure of our society by retuning the musical scale to a different frequency of 440 hertz. Too subtle to the ear to notice and invisible to the naked eye, this seemingly harmless change continues to have profound effects on us today. The 741 440 Hertz link forged during this time became the standard tuning frequency for all musical instruments. Visual and audio recordings literally changed the pitch in the entire Western world. During the 1930s, it was scientifically determined for military acoustic warfare research that if you simply used the A440 Hertz standard tuning, you could engage about 6% of the population due to the reach of the electrical grid at that time, and expanded during subsequent testing on more civilians. The results indicated psychosocial stress and disease on the general population from continued exposure. Since the Rockefeller Foundation 440 Hertz standard tuning in 1939, the immense spread of telecommunications around the globe, complemented with advanced satellite communications, has reached every corner of the planet. By services such as those provided by the internet and social media, and the widespread acceptance of cell phones for reliance on access and connectivity at all times, artificial intelligence seems posed as the ultimate gatekeeper for monitoring dissonance, distortion, and static. As indicated, military research shows that the 741 Hz tonal frequency combined with a 528 Hz tonal frequency in an A440 Hz standard tuning creates dissonance. As with a car radio, as the signal distance increases, the song begins to fade and eventually succumbs to static. It's annoying. So annoying that if you continue to listen to it indefinitely, you would get sick. We are the only species on Earth out of tune and accepting static as part of our everyday lives. The energy from our hearts literally degenerates. To do what? To shut down 95% of your brain, particularly the right side. When you play the notes 741 Hertz with 528 Hertz, it creates such an annoying and dissonant energy, it can become diseasing, stressful. This is referred to as the devil's interval. What is the result? Mass hysteria. So where does this leave us today? Unnecessary and unwarranted intrusions in our private lives. Deliberate, intentional promotion of divisive policies to distract divide and destroy from within, sowing the seeds of dissonance, confusion, and chaos. Create the crisis and offer a single source solution. Goal: more power, less freedom. Less freedom, more power. It's also the source of venomous contention, vitriol, fear of reprisal, fear of ostracization and public humiliation, exploitation and suppression of free speech, loss of trust, loss of respect, civility, suppression of free expression into desired outcomes, false, one-sided, single-source solutions with no alternatives. It's anti-democratic, anti-free choice. Poisoning the food supply. From the air, chemtrails. From the water, 271 contaminants in the public water supply. From the earth, glyphosate poisoning. Destruction of the soil nutrients. Pasteurization, processed wheat and sugar. Single-source corporate farming. Sunlight, the source of all vital life force, blocked with anti-climate change geoengineering. Farming farmers. Embracing anti-life values and principles. Hatred, exclusion, demonization, scapegoating, mass hysteria. The Agenda 21, depopulation, climate change. We see the food supply, vaccines, control the media, control the narrative. The preponderance of self-censure versus open dialogue. Surveillance, censorship, complete violations of the First Amendment. We have mass psychosis formation. Or is it mask psychosis formation? Exploitation of the mind through social programming, like 911, COVID, land shortages, the fomenting of mass delusion to invoke a perpetual crisis mode in human society. The willful submission and obedience of the masses to the fear principle is globalization under fascism. Misuse and abuse of power by such as the WHO, NATO, the FDA, DHS, FBI, the list goes on. The only real enemy of humanity is our own ignorance. So what is the significance of the 528 hertz on the tonal scale, given the changing social and cultural conditions of our times? On the original tonal scale, the solfeggio frequency scale describes the 6 tones that comprise our musical scale today. All songs, melodies, and compositions, and other pieces of music are created from these 6 basic tonal frequencies. Now, the miracle note, as it is known, is in the center of the visual spectrum as yellow. As we can see, 528 hertz is the same color as in sound. The visual spectrum suggests a subtle shift towards the green spectrum. Did this occur since the 1939 retuning at 440 hertz. And so it is with our DNA. The whole concept of our DNA is that it is acting as a spiritual receiver and uplifter, like a standing gravitational wave of the universe. Assuredly, your DNA is an antenna that is the creator, that operates like a Tesla coil. And your heart, everyone, each of us, your heart is resonating at 528 hertz frequency. 93% of the function of the DNA is light and sound reception and transmission. This is our link to the divine intelligence. Today we have a choice. Remain in dissonance or vibe to a new song. A key of love, 528 hertz. A frequency that vibrates with a love of the Creator, love for each other. Love is the universal healer. It is like a pebble in a pond. As the waves flow out, that energy flow is virtually and universally affecting as a miracle frequency. The hearts of humanity beating in one frequency, eliminating the dissonance and regenerating the harmony. The action is in your heart mind, not our ego mind. And that's in your heart. The key that unlocks only from the inside is the key of life, in your heart. It is the frequency of love, and when it comes to the heart, love knows no bounds.